Have you ever wondered whether our ethical propositions are mere emotional preferences or not? I mean, when it's said that killing is bad and helping people is good, is this just a preference of our emotions, or is there something objective about it? Hello, this is Aristotelian Peripateticism, and let us try to find an answer. At the beginning of the 20th century, a philosophical movement called logical positivism had claimed that ethical propositions are normative propositions speaking about what to do and what not to do, what we should and should not, are mere emotional preferences, and that the scientific research about them is excluded in neuroscientific research of ethical experience. In order to discuss their claim, we need first to understand the nature of ethical propositions. Ethical propositions have three stages. The first stage is the establishment stage, in which we recognize a relationship between our acts and their ends, whether they reach the natural end of the human nature or not. The second stage is the motivational stage. This stage describes our feelings to the relationship between the act and its natural end before it happens, in which we might have an inclination for or not, and it comes in the form of should I or shouldn't I. For example, I know that the voluntary act of eating excess fat is harmful to my body, making it not reach its natural end. This objective knowledge of the relationship between the act and its natural end, I have an emotional reaction for it, which comes in the form that I should or should not eat that excess fat, thus communicating this emotional feeling to another person by saying, do or don't eat fat. Third stage is the stage of evaluation, that describes our emotional reaction to the relationship between the act and its natural end. After the act is achieved, calling it good or bad, as in if I eat fats, feel good or feels bad, and it is obvious that the two later stages describe our feeling toward the first stage, that is, the objective relationship between the act and its natural end, do necessarily represent the reality of this relationship. As if I enjoy eating fats, so I think I should eat it, and I tell others to eat it, and after I eat it, I say that I enjoy eating it. So I say that it is good, however, I know that the act of eating these fats does not fulfill my natural body's end, which is to be healthy. It is clear now that emotional preferences in ethical propositions come only in the second and third stages, which are mere reactions to the first objective stage. One might say that the logical positivists consider any talk about human nature or essence to be meaningless. Although that is correct, it will be the subject of another video. But my aim here was just to explain that ethical propositions can be understood in mere descriptive, objective manner, and that the normative understanding does not imply that they are mere emotional preferences, but that there are stages of ethical propositions, which are the second and the third, that presents our emotions to the natural relationship between the act and its natural end. And that is not something that is only special for ethical propositions, but it also exists in propositions concerning medicine, logic, and even to the same logical positivist proposition, which claim that normative ethical propositions are meaningless, as they are normative in the sense that the logical positivist, when saying normative propositions are meaningless, he is in fact saying that I want to tell you that you should believe that normative ethical propositions are meaningless and do not believe the contrary. Thank you for listening.